Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crazy Kitsune Gaming with episode 3 of the Fuga walkthrough. And, well, we've already gotten the intermission done in last episode, so I kinda don't see any reason not to just get right into it. Let's begin the assault. Now then, I have told myself that I will do my best to show off each of the characters, so I think I'm going to switch up my loadout when we get into our first battle. So let's get into it. Although first we have stuff to grab. Yeah, rusty steel and rusty barrels, okay. Alright, more enemies. Hey there, Berman. You're weak. I'm strong. I'm probably gonna kill ya, because I want your stuff. Alright then, so I'm pretty sure last chapter we mostly used May, Hannah, and Malt as our front gunners. So let's sort of switch it up. We'll go Boron, even though I really wouldn't use Boron normally. Socks, and actually Kyle is already in the position. Don't quite know why. Now what support do I actually want? Well, see, who really needs May? Because May is going to increase their speed. I guess we'll go Boron, because he's so slow normally. Yeah, Malt on Kyle is good, but I think Malt on Socks would be better. And that way we have Hannah supporting Kyle, so we'll be getting hit points back during the fight. Okay. This seems reasonable, and it shows off characters that I didn't really play a whole lot of last episode. So then, hey there, good old Hound. Get some machine guns, stun him with a grenade, and I think we're just gonna outright kill him with our cannon. Yep. Alright then. Oh look! Even more hounds, and now they have an Ironfly with them. Well, the thing is, you guys are still weak, and I still want your stuff, so I'm still gonna blast your faces apart. Yeah, hi-ho, the world works well, doesn't it? Oh, that didn't quite kill him. Okay, I was kind of hoping it would. I gotta keep planning for, like, the worst, because, like, let's be honest, it's Fuga. Usually it's the worst. Okay, he's got a machine gun. That's fine. At least he didn't Gatling gun. But now we missed. Thank you, Socks. See, Socks, this is why you bring your glasses to battle. You can't be missing like that. Alright. And we got an S overall. I'm honestly surprised we didn't get an S in technique. We did pretty good at stunning the enemies. I guess maybe if I had used an ability with Boron, we could have killed the Hound, like, immediately. Oh well. At least we get our health back immediately. And now we have another double battle. Alright, let's see what they throw at us. Ooh, 2 drones. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we don't really have any area of effect weapons with machine guns. So I guess we'll just hit one, then try grenading the other. Watch, Socks is gonna miss again. Don't do it, Socks. No! He actually did it. He actually missed again. Oh, and Boron's gonna be even worse. Yeah, 40% chance. Please don't tell me Boron hits right after Socks misses. Oh my god, no! You didn't just do that. Man, no, that didn't just happen. I know, that's fan fiction. No, that didn't happen. That was simply a figment of your imagination. Socks didn't miss and then Boron immediately hit. It's fake news. Didn't happen. Okay. More hounds. Yeah, the Berman really love these things. These are basically like the primary enemy that you're going to be fighting. Like most of the time it's just Yaghound, 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 all the time. Alright, good machine gunning. Should I flame grenade one of you? It could be a good choice, I feel. I really feel like that could be a good play. Let's do it. There we go, got the flame. Okay, wow, 600. They are not kind. They're never really gentle in this game, are they? Okay. Please tell me the fire kills you. Oh, 45. What's sad is I really like that number, but, like, I want to do higher damage. Like, 45, why not 45,000? That would be way better. Ugh, the health ain't looking great after that one. Ooh, 30 on damage received. Ouch. But hey, everyone leveled up. Malta's now level 4. Hannah is level 6. No. Don't do this game. I can make enough sexual jokes about Hannah on my own. Don't have her with a damage stat of 69. It's not necessary. I can make jokes like that about her on my own. Okay. Kyle's level 4. Boron's level 4. Sox is level 4, and now he has Smoke Grenade. Attack that may inflict smoke on an enemy. Now, smoke is a really, really good effect because it actually reduces how often the enemy actually hits you. So it means that they can actually start missing as well. I think this is the furthest I've ever been from home. Yes, me too. But I never imagined leaving under such circumstances. Guys, I'm kinda afraid. Yeah, well, you know, this is kind of war. You never know when you just get that unlucky shell. Just, you know, hope you're not there when it's fired, I guess. Alright, we got some meat from crates, and a whole lot of resources. Okay. Now then. Along the route, the path will branch like this. Choose more dangerous routes to obtain better items and more experience. Please choose the appropriate route depending on the Tyrannus' condition. Okay then. So, yes, we have the safe route and the normal route. So, basically, the safe route is always going to be the safest option. Meanwhile, the normal one is basically going to be perfectly medium. You can also find hard routes, or actually they're called dangerous routes, that are actually incredibly difficult and stand a very good chance of killing you. In fact, a lot of people say, I don't quite agree with it, but a lot of the Fuga fan base tends to say that the dangerous routes tend to have enemies that are more deadly than the bosses. I don't quite agree with it, but I mean, I can see the argument. But that is another, I guess that's a third rule I'm going to be putting on myself. I'm not going to allow myself food, because the buffs can get crazy later on. I'm not going to allow myself the soul cannon, because you can just instantly nope any boss who gets anywhere near you. And I'm always going to force myself to take the most dangerous route possible. So then, I am going to go down the normal route. Because also, by going down these normal routes, you will get more experience and items. Now, I just wanna ask you a quick question. How many of you here have played Final Fantasy X? Raise your paw if you have. Okay, that's a decent number of paws. Now, how many of you used the weird grinding mechanic that you could in that game to make yourself powerful enough to fight the next boss? Whoa, okay, hold on, wait, no, that's too many hands. Wait, no, guys, calm down, I need to be able to see the screen, calm down! Okay, that's horrifying. Well, see, the thing is, you can't grind in this game. Oh, yeah, now I see some of you are screaming in terror. Okay, wait, no, don't go, you still have a video to watch, hold on. But, yeah, you can't really grind in this game. You can go down the most difficult routes, but you can only go forward. You can't go backwards and go back and try and get more experience. If you're not strong enough to fight whatever the chapter throws at you, then that kind of sucks. And that's about the end of the story. So keep in mind, the safe routes may not be as difficult, but they also aren't as rewarding, and it means that later on, in certain bosses, if you keep going down the safe route over and over and over again, you will eventually get to the point where the enemies are always going to be stronger than you. Because you have to keep in mind, the game is also a bit of an arms race. You want to try and level up your characters faster than the enemies can get stronger. And you can help yourself guarantee that by going down these more difficult routes. So, just something to keep in mind is that, safe routes are all safe, they're warm, they're fuzzy, but it's not really going to be the necessary trials to prepare yourself for the real world of, like, the final boss and some of the tougher fights in the game. Because eventually you will get to a point where you have to fight difficult enemies. So it's better to just get used to that as soon as possible. So, normal route it is. And this is still just sort of the tutorial of the game still. So it's not going to get too horrible yet. I do have to warn you that, kind of like my channel, the game will spike up very quickly in difficulty. Like, it will spike up in how hard enemies are quicker than even my channel spiked up in views when I started doing this game on my channel. Like, it'll just be insane. Alright, let's go ahead and cannon him, get that stun off, and then let's... do I want to defend with Kyle or Socks? I'll do it with Kyle. There we go. Hit him with Socks. I kind of expected more damage. Don't use the air blow. Oof, okay. Yeah, he's got to huff and puff and blow the tank down. Or maybe we'll blow him down with the cannon. That works as well. Alright then. Oh, I actually got a good rank and everything. Okay. I could have played it a bit better. I could have used a flame grenade on him. I feel like that would have been well warranted, considering the situation. Alright, now we have a 3 battle. Okay. Oh no, not these things. Oh, I hate these little things. These little 6-wheeled pieces of shite. The Läufer. And I'm pretty sure in German it translates to bishop, I believe, or runner. I'm not 100% on either. Fast-moving armored tank with low hit points. It has a skill to delay the action of its target. Yes, the riot grenade. This is probably one of the more irritating enemies in the game, because their health is just low enough that the designers think, oh yeah, we can spam these everywhere, it's not going to be a threat. But because of their riot grenade constantly stunning you, it is incredibly irritating. And believe me, they will use that riot grenade most of the time. Alright, let's machine gun. How much more? Oh my god. Instantly riot grenade. Which means now, yeah, it's going to be a long time before Kyle gets to do anything ever again. The enemies will usually use this riot grenade. It is so annoying. It gets so old so quick. And we missed, because yes, they're actually a little bit fast. So we actually miss every once in a while. I hate these little guys so much. You have no idea. Okay, there's another one. Now the thing is, it won't deal as much damage as the Yaghound, so let's go ahead and focus it first. Let's go ahead and flame grenade it. Just because it is an ability, so it will deal more damage, and I feel like he's guaranteed to die now. Hey, it actually didn't use a riot grenade for once. That's goody goody great great. I feel like I could have played this better. Maybe a flame grenade wasn't necessary. I didn't know he would get stunned so much. So go ahead, get rid of him. Now, get rid of that little freaking scrap heap. And now we're going on to the last fight. Oh no, 2 of these things. No, that's cruel. That should be illegal. You gotta throw 2 Läufers at me. No, you're just... no. You're being nasty. That's just mean game design now. So, let's go ahead and get his armor down real quick. And stun one of these guys. Please don't use a riot grenade. Okay, thank you. Hey, for once, I actually feel Fragmented Shot will actually be useful. Because it is an attack on all enemies, so it is quite expensive. It does have quite a long recharge with how far back it pushes Boron, but it's usually worth it in my opinion. At least if you have 3 or more enemies. Of course, it misses one of them, because why wouldn't it? Like, it wouldn't be irritating if one of them missed, would it? Nah, that would be fine. Not tail-burned about that at all. Okay, stun him. He can just stay out of this fight for as long as possible. Okay. He's getting pretty low on health, but so are we is a bit of an issue. Oh, I don't know who to go for. Let's try and kill him. We don't kill him. At least they're being kind with the riot grenades. They often use it so much that I almost have a little bit of a fan theory, you could say. So you ever seen one of those little toys where they just kind of bob up and down over and over again? You can almost like automate certain processes with them. I have a theory. And honestly, I hope one of these Fuga games we actually get to see what's inside these tanks. Because I don't think there's a crew in them. I think there's just one of those little toys that hits the riot grenade button over and over and over again. See, they're proving my theory. They just do the same thing over and over and over again. You can't tell me that there's an actual Berman piloting that thing. Alright, the Tyrannus HP is now less than half. As the Tyrannus' HP decreases, the probability of receiving status ailments like fear, injury, and depression increases. Be careful, as children with status ailments will not be able to fight at full power. Right, so yeah, that is something to watch out for. And it's a reason why it's often good to... Thank you, Boron. It's often good to have some form of healer like Hana. Now, a good thing is we do now have a Link Attack available. And because Hana is the supporting one, then I think the Link Attack will actually heal us. Whoa, okay, that was a lot of experience. I mean, I knew it was a bit of a tougher route, but I didn't know it was that bad. Interesting. Malt now has Brave Shot. Attack on an enemy with damage increase as the Tyrannus HP decreases. Yeah. So anytime you're below half health, this is actually a really, really good ability to use. Because I think it's kind of based off the percentage of health you have left. So if you can use this when you're at really low points of health, like somewhere down to the hundreds, then it is really effective. Now the problem is, you usually don't want to be down within the hundreds of health, because that means you are very, very squishy. So it can be a sort of double-edged sword, or I guess cannon in this case. Like, Brave Shot, it's a good ability, it just feels like the risk of using it at full power is quite scary. Alright then, any other abilities we got? No, okay, just a lot of stat increases. Goody, goody. And of course, a whole lot of scrap junk. Alright then, and because we went down the dangerous route, we'll actually get more rewards from just the general loot we find in these crates in general. See, they're all salvage plus icons instead of the ones on the other route, which are just normal salvage. Alright then, let's go ahead and get ourselves healed up a little bit. And of course, we have even more enemies. More steel for the steel grinder. Okay, so we do have a Link Attack available. Now, we are kind of close to the end of this chapter. When I'm this close to the end, I actually saved the Link Attacks, because at the end of the chapter, you will usually find either a boss or just an enemy that is really, really high level. So, in my opinion, when you're this close to the end, save the Link Attacks for later. No, don't Piercing Shot, we just want a machine gun. I'm going for the drone. There's no need to use Piercing Shot on something that has no armor. Alright, so Smoke Grenade. So, smoke can actually decrease the accuracy of an enemy. Now, I don't feel like something like a Zyklon is necessarily the best example, but I think we're going to go with it, because it actually means that the enemy has a fairly decent chance of missing. I'm pretty sure, I forget the name of the channel, but another guy played through it, and he used it, and he kind of came to the conclusion that enemies would end up missing about a third of their shots when you use that ability. So he's going to fire. Okay, maybe they missed 100% of their shots. That was actually... Okay, yeah, that was worth it. That felt nice and helpful. Okay. So, yes. Socks just hit him in the face for 69 damage. We've already had a 69 joke. You're just rubbing it in, Socks. Alright, get him stunned. I do really like the smoke effect. Any effect that makes it harder for the enemies to actually deal sufficient damage, I quite like. Alright, let's get a good old piercing shot. How much health is he having? Okay, 150. I don't feel like a grenade is going to kill him right now. So defend. Okay. And see, that time he just hit all of them. So it still is kind of random chance, but the smoke grenade does make it far more likely that you'll get a hit on the enemy. Alright, feel like this should finish him? Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see. We don't really like them when they're wiggling and moving and shooting like that. We like them when they're piles of scrap. Okay, then. Well, this is quite an interesting enemy setup. Alright, let's go ahead and machine gun this guy. Let's just get all the important stuns for now. Actually, this feels like a good time to use Fragmented Shot. Keep in mind, with AoE abilities like this, even if there's a big chance for some of them to miss, it's usually still going to be worth it, because even hitting just a few of them can help to sort of turn the tide of a battle that's going badly. And I feel like if we don't do something like this, it's going to go badly very soon. Okay, good. That was the perfect scenario. We hit absolutely everyone with that. Perfect. So let's go ahead and Piercing Shot. Then I'll defend with Socks and probably Piercing Shot again. Okay, does another attack. Yeah, Zyklons are very interesting in that their normal attacks are actually segmented into 3 different shots. It is kind of strange, but I think it means that things like smoke are a bit less effective because they will still actually get an attack off, usually. Alright then. Another hit. Wow, 160. That's good. Alright, that's perfect. That just gets him out of our way. Yeah, you know, pulling off S's. Hannah is now level 7. Good. Very good. Oh, and Hannah and Kyle's affinity has increased. Okay. Yeah, that is... Yeah, we like that. In fact, sometimes, in my opinion, it's better to get affinity in combat than actually using action points of the intermission to use it. I'm not sure if that's actually, like, min-maxy or meta. I just find that that's, to me, a very effective way of increasing affinity, because you're not actually using action points. I never thought the Burman would reach this far. They may have reached every end of Gasco. Why did this have to happen? The dormitory is now unlocked. The control room is now unlocked. Alright, and there are harvest results, which, yeah, we set this up last episode, but because we've planted all of those items, then now we get to harvest them. We can't use, like, you know, 50% of them, but hey, they're there. But that's mostly because of rules I've set on myself. Believe me, you definitely want to use food. It can make the game far easier. Okay, so we have an upgrade available. Yes, armor, please. Because believe me, we are definitely going to need more hit points soon. Goody goody. Upgrading was successful. Perfect. That's a little more experience for Hannah. And now let's get the machine gun up to level 3. Or actually, wait. See, I need to watch out for this sometime. We don't actually have enough rusty barrels, I don't think, to do both of them. So let's go ahead and do the cannon first. Since... Nah, but I think you use... The machine gun fires more often, so its damage is gonna be... It'll be far more felt, is the thing. So that means we won't be able to upgrade the cannon just quite yet. Actually, no, we will. I always kind of misunderstand how many resources we have. Yeah. I remember it's on the other side of the line is how many resources we have. I'm very easy to confuse at times. But the good thing is, we can upgrade everything. But now we are definitely hitting a hard wall in how far we can upgrade things. Because now we can't upgrade any of them until we've expanded the facility. So, yeah. Hopefully they'll let us do that very soon. Okay, so what to do during this intermission? I could just do what I always do and scrap fish, but... see, that just gets a bit repetitive every now and then. What we can do is show off the dormitory and the control room. So, dormitory. This is the dormitory. Children who rest here can obtain experience points. Resting restores children who are injured or knocked out. Expand the facility to obtain more experience and allow more children to rest at a time. Okay then. Select a child you'd like to rest from the list. Children who rest will gain experience and heal injuries. The number of children who can rest at a time depends on the number of bunks. Please let injured or knocked out children rest first. So then, yeah. This is not the most useful feature, because I'm not sure if you see, resting costs 5 action points. Now, keep in mind, each child who's getting to rest is only gaining about 500 experience. Now, you can upgrade them, of course, upgrade the bunks, but quite often, as you get further and further into the game, it is actually quite often where it's more effective to just do normal actions like talking with the crew and doing upgrades. It gives you more experience sometimes than resting in the bunks. Now, that's not always how it is, especially when we upgrade it, and if we consistently upgrade it, it will be the most effective way to level them up. I just feel that quite often your AP is best spent in other cases. But yeah, we'll do it for now. We'll have Hannah rest and Malt. They kind of deserve it. So let's go ahead and execute. Even though this definitely is not an efficient use of action points, but kind of want to show it off. So now, as you can see, they both have gotten a lot more experience. Alright. So then, we also have the control room. Now, the control room is a funny little thing. This is where you can set the children's placements in battle. Any changes made here will be reflected in the next battle. So, yeah. Over here, you can actually decide where all of your attackers and supporters are before you're actually in combat. Now, this is good, because when you change the setup in the middle of combat, it will actually mean that you're locked into that setup for the next 3 turns. So being able to do it here without having that sort of risk is quite a nice thing to have. So remember, before you actually go into battle, if you're not quite sure your setup is the best for what you're going up against, then remember to head over here. Now then, we need to go down to the farm. Now, of course, since I've disallowed myself from eating, I'm sure our crew's going to get quite hungry after a while, then there's really only one thing we can do at the farm, and that is tend cluckens. Now, the tend cluckens, unlike the others, will actually give you 2 different resources. They will give you the clucken feathers and, of course, the eggs. Now, the feathers, fun fact, are used to upgrade the bunks. So if you actually want to maximize the effectiveness of the bunks, and again, I really wouldn't recommend it, it's just not an efficient use of your AP at all. But if you actually want to go down that route, because you're, crazy like me, then tending to these cluckens can actually be very effective in actually upgrading the bunks. Now, you actually will need one other resource to upgrade them, but the feathers are what we can get for now. So, we will harvest all of those in the next intermission. What do I even really want to do with this last bit of AP? Because we can't really upgrade anything any further yet. I can't allow myself to eat food. I'm pretty sure talking naturally isn't the best way to get affinity. There are quite often times where you just have so much of the stuff I don't know how to use it. And then you have just as many times where you're desperately wishing that you could get more of it. Ooh! We picked up a silk line somewhere. Okay. Hey, at least I can make the fishing somewhat interesting this time. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. Let's go and scrap fish. Basically, the silk line means that you have a slightly better success rate, and also you can get more items from the said scrap fishing. So, getting those little lines, you always want to keep an eye out for them. Okay, it was successful, and we got, yeah, a decent amount of stuff. Okay. How do I even want to use the rest of this AP? I really feel like I should be building up just a bit of Link. But where is May? Why is May? How is May? Well, she appears to be quite happy. I'm gonna ruin it for you by, you know, hitting you with hard, cold facts of life or something. Is the Tyrannus faster than Moo Sheep? Yes, it is. See, I told her I would ruin her day with hard, sad facts. But that does get us more affinity. And see, we gain 100 experience just for talking with her. So actually, if we used all 5 of this next AP to talk to her, we would gain about as much experience as we would, at least for a singular character, than we would just, yeah. Now, considering that you get to have 2 of them rest, you do overall get 1,000. But I still feel like, at least if they... Because I know they're going to make another Fuga. They are going to make a Fuga 3. And I don't think the developers are really watching. Honestly, I just don't think I have that much influence. But if by some freak accident they are, I would have to recommend you need to buff beds in some way. Whether it's just more experience, or special effects that the characters get for sleeping, I don't know. I just know that both in Fuga 1 and in the sequel Fuga 2, sleeping just ain't that great. If I give them sweets, will they leave us alone? Oh, well, if you give the Burman sweets? No. They're here for territory. They're here for territory and people that they can use. That's about it. I mean, I'm sure they would appreciate sweets. Wouldn't stop them from taking you hostage and conquering your land, but, you know, you can give them. Alright, chance to deepen our bond. I want to play outside sometimes. Which one does make her happiest? I know it's too dangerous. It will not make her happy at all. And I guess if I just say me too? Okay, yeah. That actually made her incredibly happy. And now our Link has leveled up even more. That's good. Not our Link, our Affinity. Okay then. Now what should we do? I guess we just use the last bit of it to scrap fish. Because, yes, we can technically barter off anything we don't need. I really don't think it's effective, but, you know, it is a thing we can do. We still have Silk Line. Oh, right. Yeah. The lines, unless you actually fail the scrap fishing, you can keep the line. They're not, like, consumable unless you actually somehow fail the scrap fishing. So do keep that in mind. You know, when we do get the ability to increase the difficulty, the better and higher quality items and getting more of them will be nice, but that also means you stand a small chance of losing the fishing line. So yeah, we go ahead, we cast the line, we get some stuff, and it was highly successful. Good. Wow, we got a lot of stuff from it. And now, yes, we do keep the line. I'm pretty sure in Fuga 2, they just make it so that it always consumes the fishing line, which kinda sucks. Alright then, no more AP, so let's go ahead and begin the assault. Let's go back to battle. Alright then, onward. We are gonna get some good old resources. So yeah, I think this isn't technically a boss, but this is going to be a special enemy variant that will be quite dangerous for how early they're going to shove them in our face. Is that the tank that destroyed Colonel Pretzel's entire garrison? Oh yeah, it's the Burman soldiers again. You know, I should just give these guys names or something, because we see them quite a lot. I think I'll name the one in front, Daniel Dapper Doperman. How about that? And the one behind him, Yeah, oh, I'll come up with something. I can't believe it! Look at the size of that thing! We can't let them past! We've got to stop them here! There was no time for weeping. Indifferent to the children's grief, the enemy would soon attack. Have courage, my children. You have a reason to fight. A reason you must fight. We have no choice. If we don't fight, everyone will die. Mustering up their courage, the children raised their heads. We can't lose, not until everyone is safe. Yeah, out of the way! Alright then. Hello there. Gold Shackle. Tank with strong attack. Its attack after raising the barrel is powerful and inflicts fear having your accuracy. When half its HP is depleted, it will enter a state of wrath with increased attack, so watch out. So yes, this is our first Gold Shackle. It is actually a special variant of a Lorenzier. Yeah, the game has a funny little thing of giving you special variants of the enemies before you see the actual normal thing. Because most Lorenziers do not have 2 points of armor to their name. So yeah, 4,000 health, it takes 2 grenades and a cannon attack to stun him. That is going to be quite troublesome. So I feel like let's go ahead. Yeah, we are sacrificing. Actually, no, we don't have to sacrifice the link attack. Aha, because we can just do this. They will actually keep the link attack if we do it this way. That way, it's still considered the same 2 characters, just we've switched their positions. And you know what, Boron, you've gotten enough time to shine. We really need some malt right now. Sorry, Boron, you know, your area of effect attacks are nice and all, but like for a boss, not too great. Now, the enemy does have 2 armor, so I guess until we get that off, let's keep Kyle where he is. Alright then. So yeah, these enemies, the Lorenziers and the special Gold Shackle variant, have the ability to actually raise their barrel. In fact, all of this type of tank have some very, very good damage output. And they also have a very good ability to inflict fear, meaning that if they're in big groups, they can actually increase the lifespan of all of the other tanks nearby. So often getting rid of these things early on is a very effective strategy. Okay. Oh, heavy thrust. Oh, God, that's gonna hurt. Nearly 1,000 damage. Dang. Okay. Let's go ahead and double strike. We're not quite low enough where Brave Shot is truly helpful. Okay. Let's go ahead and Piercing Shot again. Then we can go ahead and put Hannah in front. Okay. Stun him. You know, we should probably try getting a status ailment on him at some point. Alright, another double strike. Bam, bam. Ooh, we even got a critical. Okay. Hannah, get back in here. Thank you. Now then, let's do a quick little lullaby. And now let's defend with socks for the time being. Okay. Oh no, he's interested. Oh, he is very interested. Oh, he is ready to plow our faces in. So when he is in that mode, then he will actually deal a lot more damage. And it's very, very wise to just keep defending while he's doing that. Because getting those attacks undefended can be quite devastating. Alright, hit him. Okay, Spear Rain. 3 attacks, and okay. Now we have some people who are afraid of this whole situation. So, when a crew member is afraid, then, yeah, their accuracy is reduced. In fact, it's usually far worse, because I actually have Kyle supporting Hannah right now, so she actually still has 72% accuracy. It can get quite lower than that. Now, the good thing is, Hannah has Soothing Song. But keep in mind, this guy will just reapply the effect if he still has his cannon up. So, for now, we're going to do another attack, and then another. That's good. That gets him stunned. Hit him again. Now, double strike. Even though we have a big chance of missing with one of them. Yeah, we still hit with one. Now, defend. Okay, Spear Storm. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, he's going back flaccid again. That's good. Yeah, see, this is why you always want to check the weather report before you actually go off and do anything. Because sometimes you never know. It could just be raining artillery shells in your zip code. That's why you always should check the weather. Alright. Now, I think the forecast is calling for some double strike and some desperation for getting something like smoke on him. Now, keep in mind, the status effects actually have their own chance of being applied. So here, this guy actually has a small resistance to the smoke. So there's actually a 30% chance that he'll be fine after this. Let's hope that's not the case. Boom. He actually resisted it. And now he's getting all angry. Okay. And it's 2024, everybody gets angry over some of the most random stuff. Ooh! See, that felt like one of them big ones that just hurts a whole lot. Okay. Another grenade attack on him. Let's do some more double striking. Oh, and I think the fear... Yeah, the scaredness actually wore off on its own. Okay. That is a thing to remember, is the scared effect will actually leave on its own after a while. Let's get a lullaby in, because I think he's gonna get his cannon up again. Okay, no, not quite yet. In that case, maybe some smoke? That would be quite nice. Perfect. Get closer to stunning him. Okay. Oh, he's getting all interested again. Look, I know Hannah's pretty, but calm down. I'm flattered that you're just jizzing yourself over the thought of killing us, but, like, calm down. There are other people in the world. Okay. Could we please kill him with this? Good thing is, his accuracy is a little bit impaired. Okay. That sucks. Please don't hurt us too bad. See, applying fear, that's called hurting us too bad. See, you just don't listen. This is not how you treat the ladies. Get out of here. Boom. Alright. That is another boss done. Oh, that's a whole lot of levels. Okay, Malta's level 6, Hannah's level 8, Kyle's 6. Boron has gotten a new skill. Protection. Temporary injury resistance on all allies. I actually forgot about this. Probably because it's not actually a whole lot of injury resistance, which is why I completely forget about it. Sox is level 6. And May is level 6. Okay. Alright then. Yeah, I'd say that boss can go back to shagging his old girlfriend. Because they just... we are not interested. Did we win? They're withdrawing! Victory is ours! They're running away! Alright then. That is another boss in the bag. You did it. I knew you could. I got a little bit wrong. Okay. You did it. I knew I could put my faith in you. You can do it. I'm sure of it. Well, I'm very sure as well. That's right. We have to fight. We must fight for everyone. Come on, guys. We can do this. I'd rather not fight, but I guess we have to. With the power of this tank, we may actually be able to save everyone. Grandma, Grandpa, hold on! The only way to save their families was to continue their journey aboard the Tyrannus. Once again, the children filled their hearts with determination. Alright then. I think. Not sure about you guys, but that looks like another chapter completed, doesn't it? Indeed it does. Alright then, another illustration. Oh yeah, and I have to rank him again. This illustration was by Data. I definitely kind of like the look of it. It's a lot less simple than the first one. So I have to give it some points for that. Because I gave the last one, I think, a 9.5 out of 10. At first glance, I was going to give this an 8 out of 10. But because of how much extra detail there is, and the fact that there are extra characters in it, I feel like I have to be more fair to it. So I think I'm gonna go... let's go 9 out of 10, because this took a lot of effort, and I think it must have taken more effort than the last one, just because of how big the image is. Just the fact that there's just a lot more involved. So even though I think it's not perfect, I have to remember, there is quite a bit shown here. Thing is, I'm not an artist, so I kind of feel like I don't quite feel like I should be judging at times, but, hey, everyone's a critic. I'm just joining the club. I mean, the critic club is absolutely massive, What's one more random Kitsune inside of it, Alright then. So, we are in the next town. We have a new entry that's been added to the Berman Reports. But I think we will get to that next episode. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next episode. So, yeah, I mean, I hope you have a good day. I'll see you in the next episode, but before you go, do consider liking and subscribing, as it definitely helps motivate me to make even more videos like this. I mean, the first episode of this series got so many views, so it's, of course, like, I kinda have to continue. Sort of got a moral and contractual obligation. I have a fiduciary responsibility and all that. I don't. I really don't have any fiduciary responsibility. Sometimes I wish I did, because that would mean I would actually be making a little bit of money, but, Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Have a good day. Toodles!